So this is the continuing review of the Galaxy Note 2. Greetings, Dennis Daniels here. Before you buy the Galaxy Note 2, there's a number of things you need to know about the tool itself. It has some significant UX and UI issues, user experience and user interface issues. I've already talked about the ability to attach notes, S-notes to contacts. You can't do it. Major bummer. As well, you can't attach notes to calendar events or tasks for that matter. So S-Notes exists as its own little fortress island, practically inaccessible to everybody else. No autosave for notes. It does prompt to save beforehand, but a few times I've been caught out not saving a note, and there is no autosave, so keep that in mind. No autosave for S notes. Okay, I've already pointed out to this in the first video, but hovering over tags, it doesn't tell you what the tag ID is. I mean, there might be 12 tags in here that I would want to reuse, but it doesn't tell me that. And in fact, Samsung S Notes does not remember the tag names across the various notes, which really surprised me. So if I have a UX note and I'm reviewing an application, for example Samsung S Note, and I'm using the same tag UX for a different application or for a different note, it doesn't remember all of other tags I've used. So the tagging, I think, is more or less almost useless. Yeah, I've already spoke about the tab, or rather the S-Note size. It's about the same, physically the same size as a large post-it note. The recording button, I find the record button to be a tease. You can't export your recording. There's no OGG, there's no AVI, there's no MP4. So the very coolness of being able to record is essentially, it's only good for you. And there's a word for that, and it usually involves the last word Bayesian and the first one master. So I don't know why they would include a record tool if you can't export it, but that's Samsung Galaxy Note 2. The S Note is, it's a bait with no master. You can get more text if you zoom in. You have to zoom it in at 250%, which is max, and then you'll be able to zoom around a little bit. But it's really a bummer that you can't just make your notes as large as you want them to be. Yeah, the scribbles on the page are not resized to fit. So if I was to select, click and drag, for example, and then highlight some text and then squeeze it back into a smaller pace, to a smaller size, I cannot do that. Gross oversight. Even basic Microsoft Paint allows you to resize your scribbles. I'm really surprised that S-Note doesn't allow for that. Yeah, I've already spoken about this. How to select text and resize, you can't do it, which blows my skull to have such a powerful application, powerful computer, powerful phone, and not be able to select and resize your text. Crazy. You can only resize images. What about the text? I'm speechless. You can change the order of the notes. You have to go through the menu option, which is down at the bottom of your note. And you can change the background, and you can edit the pages, but you can only edit the order of the pages. It won't help you with any kind of sorting in terms of last edited, last viewed, etc. Yeah, how to keep all the pages in the same folder. When you export your notes as JPEGs or PNGs from your S-Note, make sure that your Galaxy Note 2 you've already deleted all of the prior images, because the export tool is not smart enough to take the images from one notebook and name or create a new album called Notebook Note. Notebook A, Notebook B, Notebook C. It does not do that. It just dumps them all into one great big folder, which is very annoying. So keep that in mind. Before you export a notebook to PNGs, delete the existing folder so that you don't add more images to a folder that's already full, especially if you're planning on sharing that folder or just sharing that notebook as PNGs or images. You will have to do a lot of clicking. So keep that in mind. The export tool works. It works pretty well. Obviously, I'm using it here, but it takes a bit of workaround and something that the Samsung Note or Samsung S Note people did not think about, and something you should think about before you buy it. This is part 2. Thanks for watching, and happy computing.